Okay, students. So now you would be having a question in your mind after what we learned about in the last period about democracy. The question would be, why is this democracy required? Why can't we, go back to the place where kings were ruling? Why can't we happily, live under the king? The king would give a decision, we would abide by it. People were happy during those days. There was lots of prosperity in ancient India. Why do you actually want to change those things, and why would anyone want to go to a state of democracy where all people are trying to voice their opinion, give their different ideas, and it would be so confusing and so chaotic where everybody's trying to put their own idea forward. Why is this democracy actually required? Isn't it just fine that we have one person ruling us like a dictator? But you need to understand is what Abraham Lincoln actually said about democracy once again is democracy is the government of the people, by the people, for the people. Whenever a king is making the decision for the people, it is the people who are going to get affected by the decision and not the king. The king would not be affected by the decision because he is ruling them. He is much more above them. But whereas when the people take their own decision, this decision is taken through a prime minister or a president or a person who is elected by the people. That person also is a citizen of that country. He is also a ordinary person like him, like the other people. He is being just given the power by the people, and he would be doing the work for the people. So that is why the government is of the people, chosen by the people, and the work is being done for the people. That is the main idea of democracy, where each and every person is treated equally and has an equal role to play in the functioning of that country. That is one of the main important points of democracy. Now, to understand the mechanism of democracy, how our democracy in India actually works is in India, what we have is we have three different organs of the government. We have the legislative, we have the executive, and then we have the judiciary. These are the three main organs of our government. Now, what happens in these three organs? Let us learn that so we understand how our democracy works and why is it important to have these three organs. Very similar to our human body, we have the brain, which is the master controller. Everything in our body is controlled by the brain. When you want to pick something up, the brain sends an instruction to your hand, and your hand goes forward and picks up that item. Without the instruction going from your brain to the hand, you would not be able to do it. It is not possible for the hand to act on its own. If the brain is not in your body, just imagine your brain is taken away from your body. Would you even be alive? You would not. It doesn't work that way. So brain is the thing which functions and makes everything work properly, but at the same time the brain is independent. Your brain is independent. It does not take any instructions from your hand. It does not take any instructions from your feet. It takes its own decisions, and then these decisions are passed on to the others, and the other parts of your body will behave accordingly. When you are eating some very delicious food, your tongue gets the taste of that delicious food, and that instruction is passed on to your brain, and then your brain enjoys and you have nice fun eating that delicious food. So this is how the different parts of the organs in your body function together, each playing their own part without interfering with the others. That is why you are able to live so harmoniously without any problem. Similarly, our government also has three very important organs. The legislative is the part of the government which makes the laws that run our everyday life, that govern our everyday life, the small laws that we see. It could be a law which is about the traffic laws, it could be a law about the environment, it could be the law about your education. All these different laws are made by the legislative, and they are the people who are responsible for making the laws. A lot of discussion happens in the parliament, which you see the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. these two parts of the parliament, they do a lot of discussion, they do a lot of debate, they talk with each other, they find out what points are good, what points are bad, what can be added, what can be removed. All these things they discuss, and finally they come out with a law. And then we have the executive, where the president is a part of the executive, and then this executive is actually the entire system of our government which makes these laws work. We have IAS officers, these big officers, they all sit in these government offices and they run the country. They implement the laws which are given to them by the legislative. And then we have the separate part, that is the judicial, which is made up of the Supreme Court, the High Court, and the district courts. These three levels are there in the judiciary, which imparts justice wherever a law is broken. If the law is broken, then justice must be served. And that work of serving justice is done by the judiciary. So this is the work of these three independent organs of our government, wherein they work smoothly and they function smoothly together with each other to see that the democracy in our country works fine without any kind of problem. So these are the three organs of the government as we had discussed, and in today's particular lesson, we will only learn about these three organs of the government. So I hope everything is clear till now. You can always, relook and watch the video again and again as many ever times you want, because it's recorded. It is there available to you anywhere. You have the link. So please go through it again and again. Have a clear picture. So for this particular day, the activity what we are going to do is you are going to make a chart, a small chart in your notebook itself, wherein you will write something very similar to what is there on your screens right now. You will write the three parts: the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. And then you should write the person who is there in that particular office. Who is the head of the legislative? Who is the Prime Minister of India? You will write that person's name. Who is the President of India? You will write that person's name. And then who is the High Court judge, or who is the Chief Justice of India? You will write that person's name for the judiciary. You will make the small chart in your book and you will do that particular activity for today's class. So that's all for today. Have a nice day and please stay safe. Take care, everyone. Thank you.